welcome to a whole new series on the channel featuring tons of product, tons of Yu-Gi tubers with an £80 budget every month, and a tournament against these Yu-Gi tubers. Welcome to the Sealed Only League. Hello guys, Rawbelt1 here, and welcome to month 10, episode 15 of the Sealed Only League. Guys, I cannot believe we've made it this far into the Sealed Only Leagues. Only 3 months left of this series, and honestly guys, we are still coming out pretty strong. But today's episode, we have got a couple of things to talk about, so let's go into those. Being one, we've got to talk about our match reports from last month, because, well, I felt like we didn't do as well as we actually could have last month, and I felt like the deck didn't perform as well as I would like it to have done last month, so we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be doing some opening the 2021 Megatins, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that we could potentially pull for our deck, such as back row cards, extra deck cards, and hell, Metal Cruncher, which is something that I would really like to pull at least one of, just so we can have that rank 9 access in our Machina strategy. And we're also going to be doing a deck profile and some duels with the potential pulls we get, and to show you guys how we upgrade the deck in the Sealed Only League. So guys, hopefully you'll enjoy this episode of the Sealed Only League. We're going to get into it now, talking about the match reports. So let's go. Alright guys, so match reports for the Sealed Only League in September. So pretty much this month, I was only able to get in 2 games. I know, right? Not able to play Joe again, sadly, because our schedules are always really hard to sync so we can actually play a match. But nonetheless, I did get 2 matches in, one against Frosty as normal and another one against Fingers Crossed, so we did have a pretty cool month nonetheless against them. So pretty much round 1 was against Frosty, and to be honest, this match did not go in my favor whatsoever. Game 1, I did win the die roll, but he went second and actually managed to open Dimensional Shifter. The first time throughout the entire Sealed Only League, he was able to open D-Shifter, and honestly, when he did that, I just could not play the game. I tried to do so many different things. I did end up ending on a Dora in game 1, but after that, I just could do nothing, so I lost game 1. And then in game 2, I proceeded to brick, only really being able to make a Cyber Dragon Infinity, I believe, and that pretty much got stopped because he was just able to play through every single play I actually had, and he just ended on like Titan and all these other different stuff to make me lose, and I was just unable to play a game against Frosty. But honestly, his deck is working really well through the Sealed Only League. His deck's gotten to the point where it's actually really insane. So it's just like, it was an annoying loss because, well, D-Shifter, and I just bricked game 2 being unable to play the game. But nonetheless, it was a fun match to see that Frosty was actually able to take a game from me, or a match like Swift 2-0 me, for the first time in the actual Sealed Only League, showing how much progression our decks have actually come, and just seeing how he was able to beat me. But round 1, sadly, a loss to me. So round 2 against Fingers Crossed. So this match was actually really interesting and really different for a couple of reasons. Game 1 was pretty much, I opened 3 Ash Blossom, he goes full Drytron combo, I Ash one thing, and he's able to play through it and just make his entire board. So he makes Herald of Wilderness, couple of negates in hand, with a Drytron Xyz monster and whatever Drytron cards he actually has left. And then game 2 was pretty much, I establish my board, I make plays, I summon my Raigeki, Machina Citadel, he goes into his plays, I get to a point in the game where I take a gamble, and because of that gamble I win, and then we go into game 3 where pretty much I brick going second. He opens really well, but because I had an Ash Blossom in hand to negate his Cyber Emergency, he was unable to play the game, and we go into this point where I'm constantly building up advantage because I'm looping a Possessed Storage and also a Machina Irradiator in hand to be able to continuously play into bigger monsters, go into link plays, to an Appaloosa in the end, and just somehow kill him with a DD Crow. So honestly, that match was absolutely insane. Fingers Crossed is always really fun to play, and we always have really interesting and interactive matches, even though he's playing Drytron, which is a really combo heavy deck, and I'm playing Machina, which is just Raigeki on legs. It's always really cool to play against him, and we always have those really diverse and interesting matches. But guys, that was the matches for this month of the Sealed Only League. Honestly, September was really weird. I really wish I could have actually gone up against Joe this month, because obviously we want to put our deck against Joe, we want to beat him, we want to be able to prove that we can beat him, because of so far throughout the entire Sealed Only League, our schedules just don't match often, and every time we've gotten a chance, I've just lost or drew to him. I've not been able to beat Joe, and I want to beat him before the Sealed Only League ends. So hopefully this month or the month after, December or November, we will get to play him a few times, get some wins, and crush his virtual world strategy or Tri-Brigade, whatever he ends up playing. But guys, that has been the match reports for the Sealed Only League of this month. Let's go ahead and go into our openings now, where we're going to be opening some tins. Let's go. Okay guys, so before we get into the actual openings, let's go ahead and show off the lost art for this month. I know I said I probably don't need to add any more lost arts because there isn't really any amazing ones to add to our deck, and I didn't really think we'd need any more, but hell, I just thought for the hell of it, why not add a second Gustav Max? Because, well, we might make the rank 10 and we might have some more extra space this month, so I thought screw it, add the next Gustav Max, put a second one in if we can, and just have it there for that. I thought, why not? So yeah, Gustav Max is our lost start for this month, but now onto what you guys are actually here for, to open some tins of lost memories. We obviously have 5 of these because we wanted to get 5, and I could afford exactly 5 in my budget. I was able to find 5 tins for £80, which was honestly just a really, really good deal. And we're going to be opening these, we're going to see what we can get, and hopefully guys, we will be able to pull a Metal Cruncher, we'll pull stuff like Ice Dragon's Prison, we'll pull literally everything good, and who knows, maybe even a Crossout Designator. Like, there's a lot of good stuff that we could potentially pull from this, so let's hope we do pull it. So let's get my trusty little sword here out, and we will open all of these Mega Tins, and we will see what we can get. So we're going to just open all the packs, get all the packs out right away, just make life a bit easier, because, I mean, it makes it slightly faster to just open all the packs in one go if they want to come out. Like, that tin just didn't want to have all the packs come out, guys. Like, come on, what are you doing? And there's the rubbish just falling down. I'll throw it to the side. And yeah, we honestly just we want to pull Mail Crunchers mainly, and a Crossout Designator just because it's a big money card. Like, who wouldn't want to pull Crossout Designator? But stuff that we kind of really want to pull is just like Ice Dragon's Prison. A Zeus would be nice, because like Zeus is just a generically good card for the Sealed Only League, because we can make it quite easily. Make a gear frame and turn the attack with a gear frame. If we aren't able to kill our opponent, then we just go ahead and, you know, make Zeus and have a big Zeus boy on the board to kill our opponents. And if we get cross out, probably won't use it. I don't really think there's enough reason in the Sealed Only League to use a Zeus, but I just think it's fine as it is. I haven't missed any packs here. We should have 15. So you know what? I just feel like it's a good card to pull. So what the hell? This card is. These are bigger? Why does it seem like there's less cards in these? Is that my imagination? Maybe it is. Like, we should have 15 packs here. I don't know. These just seem thinner than I expected. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're going to be opening all these. I'm going to push them to a side a bit, and let's hopefully pull some really, really good cards. Why do these seem so light, though? It's really weird. Anyway, let's get into the pack. So we start with a Curse of Dragon. There's also some commons we could potentially pull, I think, as well. That could be really useful. We're going to just go through them. Noctovision Dragon, that's just a good card in general, I think, because it's Noctovision. It's just a decent card. Drytron Beta Respin, Dragite. Not something we're going to make, but something useful, I guess. Ignista Island, okay, not what we want. And the Fajit, I mean, if we pulled multiple fractals and all the other Tri-Brigade stuff, maybe. So, first pack, not really anything we need, not gonna lie. We really just want to try and pull, like, good stuff for the Sealed Only League. Like, there's a lot of generic staples in here that we could pull. Etanin, Forest, Shirag, I guess we might. Oh, and a Girsu, okay. And get in, guys! Ice Dragon's Prison for the Sealed Only League. That is actually a really, really good card for us to get in general, because this is just going to be an MVP, I think, because against one Virtual World, we can just revive, like, a Psychic or a Worm, whatever the Shen is, and then just banish the Shen, and then we can just do a lot of different things against along different decks. So Ice Dragon is going to be very, very useful. Piercing the Darkness and an Aichichi with a Parallel Exceed. Something we're not probably going to be using, but it's a nice card nonetheless, having Secret Rare. Like, I think this is just I think this is one of the sleeper cards in the set as well, just price-wise, so that's actually kind of nice to pull. Continuing on. Pegasus, if we get punishments as well. Like, that's something else I wanted to pull. I want to pull Dogmatica stuff because I feel like that would be really decent in our deck, so that would be nice to pull. Eye Contact, and a Fusion Deployment, not something we're ever going to use, but nice card nonetheless. Every time I see a spell card, I'm like, oh my god, is it the Crossout Designator? Is it Crossout Designator? I don't know, but we will find out. So, let's continuing on. Doyon, Fiendish Portrait, Seeker, Aerial. Oh, Revolution Dragon, that's actually not a bad pull. And Alpha Bia, like, so I wanted to play the deck, I did, but we never pulled Novas, we never pulled the Ritual spell, like, it was just, it wasn't meant to be, so we never did. You know, maybe for the last month, I'll play our trash build of Drytron just because we can. Nadir's Servant, now if we can get Ecclesia, this card is insane, because we got the Wind Pegasus, so if a card of ours is destroyed through anything, we can just go ahead and banish it and shuffle something into the deck. So this, good pull right here. Oh, and a Asua, that's not bad too. We can actually play this too, and a Cross Sheep, like we're never going to be playing this, but not a bad pull. Not a bad pull. And we've also got some Adamantipays. Like, we're not going to be playing Adamantipayer because we obviously won't pull the whole deck from 5 tins, but hey, it's not bad to actually have them. They're just good tuner cards. So we've got Joyous, Chaos Summoning Beast, Fleur-de-Lis, a good target for our... I got attack. I'm not mad. And a Lao. So that's a really good tin. Like, we got Fleur-de-Lis, we got triple tactical talents. So far, these tins are actually really, really good. We won't be using the tax, I don't think, because of, honestly, our opponents don't, like, people in the Sealed Only League, the only person who would actually use an effect during our turn is Frosty. So I don't think it's really worth playing it just for him, but not bad pull whatsoever. The pack's just stacking up now. We got, what is it, that Hokusalair, Restaban, Virtual Lily, Aerial, and another one of Alpha. Nothing we really need again, but not bad. Still a lot of packs to go through. Like, I'm just trying to get through these so we can see what we're going to get, so I can theorize the deck for the video as well. I'm going to start throwing them there because they're getting stacked there and they're just going to fall over. So let's go. We got another Fiendish Portrait, a Titan side. This is something we could actually play potentially because target one special monster your opponent controls, a special summon from the extra. No, from the extra isn't going to work. We actually put. We pulled Cross out. That's mad. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. And what the hell is this? Like, I know we just pulled Cross out, but this. What is this? Celaglare the Luminous Lunar Dragon. What the hell are you? You can normal summon to set this card without tributing, but its original attack is 1500. During the main phase quick fetch, you can target one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card. Return this card to the hand, and if you do, take control of the opponent's monster until the end phase. You know what? That's pretty interesting. Like, just target one monster your opponent controls with less attack or equal to this card. Just steal something. That's an interesting secret rare. I don't think we're going to use it, don't get me wrong. And, oh my god, the comments at the back of this pack are damn. I need to check the cross out. Is the cross out fine? Is the cross out fine? It's a misprint as well because of, like, the Eye of Anubis is just, like, off. It's miscut too. It looks fine though. It looks fine. It looks mint. It looks fine. Don't be a screw up. But like, oh my god, the Megatins are insane here. Is this pack upside down? Yes, it's upside down. Okay. I was thinking like, well, the card's put in upside down. So let's see what else we got coming. Like, this is a good card as well. So we got the Gizmek, we got the Deep Sea Nerval, a Leonite, okay, and a Nyan. Oh, and a Tidying. Like, that's not bad rare either, so that's not bad. Like, honestly, we're getting a lot of good stuff, and we pulled good cards for our deck as well. Especially, like, the best card we pulled so far is the Ice Dragon. I would really like a Zeus and a Metal Cruncher, though, because we've still got some packs left. We've still got hope for the Metal Cruncher. I think we might even just be opening these until the end of the Sealed Only League 2. So, hopefully we'll get what we need from them. The Super Sculpt there. And we got an Area, the Charmer, and Wrapped. You know what? With the amount of... We've got the Synchros base lined up. We can play Adamantipayer. And a Punishment! We're playing this. We're playing this. This is going in our deck. This is good. This is really good. Like, that's another card that I just wanted to pull because it's really strong. Like, punishment in the sealed only league is sick. Like, if we could get an Unce, like, that would be insane, but we're not going to try. It's not worth the effort, but still, like, we're going to be using Pegasus. Like, Pegasus is just nuts. Chaos Summoning Beast, the opening of the Spirit Gates, that, and Revolt, so we could play Tri-Brigade, I guess, if we wanted to. But yeah, so far, 3 packs left, going strong. Like, we pulled a lot of really good generic cards. If we can get an Ecclesia, I feel like this is going to be nice. I feel like this is going to be really nice if we can get an Ecclesia. So we've got an Artillery, a Thunderhand, Enlightened, Keras, and a Schism. Oh, if we could get a Windows, if we could have got a Winder. Like, I needed a Schism in real Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway, so I'm not too upset about it. But, yeah, Schism's a good pull nonetheless. I'm not upset about that whatsoever. So continuing on, we got a Disposal, Learner Device. Continuing. Warning Point. Generator Transverse. This is actually something we could use as well. So let's jip it. These tins are insane. These tins, and well, I got a Zeus, so I can't complain. But yes, Homan is not what we wanted, but we've got Zeus. We've got practically every card I wanted from this, except for an Ecclesia. So if this last pack right here has an Ecclesia in it, we're done. Like, we're actually done. Like, if it doesn't, we're not playing the Dogmatica engine, but if it does, we're playing Dogmaticas, guys. Like, I'll play Dogmaticas if we can get an Ecclesia. So I think we're going to try and go from the last couple cards and put them to the back. So that's the rare. So we've got the rare. We'll put that to the side right away. And we'll just go through the commons. So Jabbing Panda, Melfi Rabbit, Jack in the Hand, Empress of the Blossoms, Horn of Ulfaint, Tie Strike, Delk Templar, Gachi, Jacko Bolan, Lantern Shark, Deep Sea Prima Donna. For the supers, we've got a Advanced Panda Relief and a Tri-Brigade Silverfang. For the first Ultra, we've got a Lily. Second Ultra, it's a spell. Ooh, okay, I needed a second one of these just in general for Dark Magician, so I'm not too bad about that. But Magician's Salvation, that's a good card. And our secret is, it's not a Dogmatica Ecclesia. It's a Raphael, Lord of Phantasms. So, guys, that is all the packs we've opened for this episode of the Sealed Only League. Honestly, we have gotten a lot of good cards to upgrade our decks. We have got literally Punishment. We've got Ice Dragon's Prison. We've got literally so many good ultra rares. Like, we've got the Divine Arsenal Zeus. We've got the Crossout Designator. Well, we're not going to be using it. We're not going to be using it, but it's good. Tactical Talents, we're probably not going to be using it either. Fleur de Lis, Nadir's Servant for a future one, if we can get the other stuff. We've got, like, just generally a lot of really good cards that we could potentially just use in a lot of our different strategies. So, guys, that is the opening section of the Sealed Only League. Honestly, insane pulls. I don't know if I'm going to be playing a majority of this. Like, these 3 are guaranteed. I probably won't be playing these because, well, there's no point in playing them because we can't actually guarantee that we can use them. Like, for instance, Nadir's Servant, it's a really good card, don't get me wrong, but it's not good enough without, obviously, Ecclesia, because we'll be using this to go ahead and send, I don't know, the Pegasus to the graveyard to go ahead and grab the Ecclesia, which would grab the Punishment. So we probably won't be playing that, but honestly, guys, really good pulls, really good potential for the Sealed Only League right here, and yeah, so let's go ahead and go into the deck profile segment now, where you'll see the deck profile that we'll be playing for the Sealed Only League. So let's go. So we are on the deck profile now, and honestly, I think I've made a lot of really good changes to the deck, including adding the new cards that we pulled from our tins that honestly make the deck so much better. And we're gonna go ahead, look at the deck, I'm gonna show you guys the changes, and honestly, the biggest change I think I made throughout the entire deck is that I went back a step and was like, okay, what did we do wrong last month? We put more monsters in. And because of the type of format the Sealed Only League is, more monsters was not the correct choice in my opinion. I feel like me putting more monsters in actually made the deck a bit worse, because the best part about our entire deck, are the trap cards, because it allows us to interact a lot more with our opponent outside of just the Citadel Raigeki. So what I've done this month is I've changed the list, I've put more traps back in, and I feel like the more trap cards are going to help us a lot and allow us to play the game a lot more. So guys, let's go ahead, get into the deck profile, show you guys all the changes, show you guys the new ratios, show you guys what we've actually put in and changed, and also just show you the way the deck is currently, because I want to show you guys how I've changed this deck for the Sealed Only League, and I feel like it's a change for the better. So let's go ahead and show you. So starting off, we obviously play the 2 Citadel still. This card is just Raigeki on legs, summons itself back, and we play 2 of it because we don't want to draw it, but we also can't play 1 because, well, if we play 1 and it gets banished, we can't really bring it back outside of like the trap cards. So card is really good. You want to be playing it at least 2. You don't play at 3, you don't play at 1. Simple as that. Next, we're playing the free Air Raider, very important card, very strong card, allows us to pop our Machina monsters to summon Machinas from the deck, so it gives us basically guaranteed turn 2 OTK 9 times out of 10, because we go ahead and pop a Gear Frame, summon out the Possessed Storage, and then revive the Gear Frame back, and then just make a Gideon X to go ahead and get the Pegasus and OTK our opponent. Card is very good, card is very strong, I play it at 3, we need to see this card. Next, we still play the One Radio. It's just Monster Reborn. I like it in the deck, and I feel like it's a very good addition that keeps the deck going at times. Free Gear Frame. It's Stratos. Simple as that. You don't need to play any less than this, because a free Stratos is always going to be good in any deck. We also play the 1 Possessed Storage still. He is very important to the basically turn free OTK combo, where we go ahead and summon him with the Air Raider, summon the Gear Frame back, and all of that good stuff. Free Flying Stampede, because this card is, like, Pegasus is just the best card in the entire deck. It allows us to OTK, it allows us to summon any XCs from our extra deck, it allows us to do so much that you have to be playing it at 3. You want to see it in every opening hand 9 times out of 10, and the card is just absolutely insane. Revives something, augments levels, very, very strong, and it just guarantees OTKs 9 times out of 10. 1 Super Express Bullet Train. This card is just really good. It's a free special summon from our hand. It's a level 10, and if it's sent to the graveyard during the end phase, we can add an Earth Machine monster from our graveyard to our hand, which is really, really useful. And then one of the biggest changes, and the things that we were most sought after for this deck that I've changed, is we're playing 1 Derricrane, and the whole reasoning behind this is it's just bricky at multiples. I don't like this card at 3. Like, when we were playing the Sealed Only League against Frosty, I felt like seeing multiple of this just sucks, and I didn't want that. I wish it was a trap card every single time. So I was like, okay, we're going to take 2 out, we're going to put more trap cards in, see how that goes, and I feel like 1 of this card is going to be better than 3, because 9 times out of 10 we're just going to OTK our opponent, and detaching this is just a pop. So I feel like 1 is fine, and I only want to play it at 1 now. If I put it up to 2 again, that might be because I feel like, okay, maybe the card needs to be at 2, but right now I want to play it at 1. I feel like 1 is the right number, so we are playing it at 1. And then the last actual monster in the deck is 1 Infinitrack Anchor Drill. I think the card is just really, really strong. Being a normal summon that says we can special summon our Citadel from hand, or special summon any other monster from our hand, potentially a level 4 as well to go into a rank 8 play, because this can basically combine levels to go ahead and make XC's plays, is really, really decent, and I feel like it's just a good card to have in the deck. I don't regret playing the card, and every time I've seen it, it's been really, really good. So we're keeping it at 1, and I feel like it's just going to keep coming up. So 1 Anchor Drill, very, very nice card. And then the last monsters in the deck, well, I say monsters, but obviously hand traps, is free Ash Blossom. I really can't cut this card. It stops Drytron, it stops every virtual world, and it can stop a Thunder Dragon from going off. So pretty good. Monster lineup I think is okay, and I'm really, really liking it still. I like this monster lineup. I feel like the 3 ofs are all correct, and the 2 ofs is correct. Like, the only thing that I'm always iffy on is if the Possessed Storage, because if I do draw the 1 of, it does really suck. But at the same time, it's fine, because we draw the 1 of, we 9 times out of 10 have other plays as well. So yeah, it's fine. Going on to spells, free redeployment, it's basically just double rotor. There's no reason not to play it, and allows us to guarantee our turn 1 combo. Like, this in our opening hand is just really, really strong, so we want to be playing it at free. 1 Monster Reborn, it's Monster Reborn, no reason not to play it just like the rest. And 1 Foolish Burial, because we can send Citadel to the graveyard, kill our monster, and then go for an attack. So nothing bad about that either. All the spells we play. Going on to purple cards, the most important part of the deck, as I said, we are playing the free Infinite Impermanence. This card is just really, really nice against Virtual World and Thunder Dragon. dragons. Negating a Shen Shen or negating a Titan is really strong, and I dropped the card on the floor. And because of that, I really wanted to keep the deck and keep the card up free. So we are playing free Imperm still. The card is very strong, and we want to keep it up free. We're also playing free Solemn Strike because Solemn Strike is just really good as well. Like, just negate any effect, negate a summon, negate basically pretty much anything we really want to. Like, for instance, we can just go ahead and flip this on a Drytron effect, prevent the Drytron. If we want to prevent a Synchro Summon, we can prevent the Synchro Summon. The card is just really good and really versatile, so in the Sealed Only League, it comes up a lot. Free compulsory reactivation device. This card is just a good card. Return any monster to the hand, always really nice. And if we're sending an extract monster, they not get anything back, so goodbye Titan, you can't play the game. Very nice card. Something I chose to put back in, Lost Wind. I really missed this card. I really did. I felt like this card was a big miss in my deck, so I chose to put it back in. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense playing this in the Sealed Only League because, well, Shen Shen is an extract monster. Every big monster in the Sealed Only League right now is a special summon monster, so I'm just like, okay, we'll play the Lost Winds, and I feel like it's just correct to have it at 2. I feel like it's going to come up a lot, and I feel like it will help us out a lot as well. So 2 Lost Wind again, and then just for 1 of trap cards, we're playing the 1 Punishment, obviously, because it's just a punishment. It says pop something, which is really good. 1 Ice Dragon's Prison, summon something from our opponent's graveyard, banish it, like really good as well. Just a free revive or a banish, which is nice. 1 Dynamiscus, just banish anything our opponent controls. 1 Paleo Torrential Tribute, because wipe the board, why not? I can just summon back something as well. And then 1 Machina Overdrive, because I don't think I can ever not have this card in the deck, because just pop a machine once to summon itself from the deck is always going to be strong, so it's really nice. And it's also a way to recycle our Citadels if they are banished. So all these trap cards are really strong, and I really feel like they're going to be needed. So yeah, and I've got even more trap cards in the side, I won't lie. So yeah, that's the main deck. Main deck I feel is really clean right now. It's doing really well. I think it's really well, so hopefully this will put us above the other decks in the Sealed Only League this month as well. But going on to the extra deck, we are playing 1 IP Masquerena as normal. It's just something to make Nightmare Unicorn on our opponent's turn. 1 Underclock Taker for OTK potential as well, which is really nice. 1 Geonator Transverse. Now, this is a really weird one, and I'm playing this for the pure fact that if my opponent puts the monster in the wrong zone, and I can summon a Geonator in a zone it points to, and I have like a dead hand trap in hand, I just go ahead and summon this, summon the hand trap, take their big monster, say a Titan or something along those lines, and then just go, okay, you can have my hand trap, I get your big monster, and yeah, you can't kill either of them. So I just feel like this is a really cheeky card that could come up, and I really like the idea about it. So yeah, we're trying it, we're going to test it. I feel like it's going to be really strong, and I'm playing it because of that. 1 Hauki Firebrax, just another way to go into Nightmare Unicorn quickly, so we play out 1 along with the Nightmare Unicorn. 1 Appaloosa, because it can come up, it does come up very rarely, and when it does, it always does really well, so we still play the Appaloosa. Should probably be an access code talker, but we don't own access code talkers, so Sealed Only League ain't having it. 1 Wind Pegasus, because we play the Dogmatic Punishment. Obviously this is the best target, I think, in my opinion, because as soon as one of our cards is destroyed, we can just go ahead and banish this from the graveyard, and then just, you know, get rid of something our opponent controls. There's no bad things about this card, there's no downsides to this card. It's literally just, oh, if another card's destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you just, while this card is in your graveyard, you just banish it and shuffle target 1 card on your opponent's field, shuffle it into deck. Like, we can get rid of so many different things with this card. Back row, Titan, Drytron stuff. Like, it's just a good card. No reason not to play it. 1 Tornado Dragon, attack, kill things, back row removal, all that good stuff. 1 Light Dragonite Ignister, because this is the monster version of Tornado Dragon, where we just detach a material, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and destroy it, which is really nice. And it can also protect all of our cards, because if we have this card on the board, we can go ahead and detach a material if a card we control would be destroyed by an effect, and just prevent the destruction, or by a battle. Like, the card, like, if it would be destroyed, like, if a monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can use a material on this card, you can only use this effect 1 card. Like, just detach material, protect, not bad. Like, this card is pretty decent. Like, I don't see a problem with it. Just protect from destruction of effects, and like, it's really nice. It's just a pop and a just protect. Like, no reason not to play it. 1 Gigan X, it allows us to OTK our opponent. 1 Dingirsu to send anything to the opponent's graveyard. 1 Super Dora for when we need it for protection, pretty much. 1 Gustav Max, because we want to go ahead and burn our opponent for 2k and then go for game. 1 Judgment Juggernaut Libe, because it's our OTK 40k piece. And then finally, the coup de la résistance of the extra deck is 1 Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus, Thunder, Sky Thunder. Honestly, this card is absolutely insane. As we all know, if a card we control is destroyed, we get to go ahead and attach a material to it from anywhere, and we can do just 2 materials from it to just go ahead and destroy the entire board. This card has multiple implications, such as, for instance, if we make the Super Dora, we can just go ahead and protect it, attack our opponent, and then go ahead and make the Zeus, or we can just go ahead and, I don't know, make the Dingirsu, attack our opponent, and make the Zeus to wipe the board. We can go ahead and use it with the Gigan X if we can't, you know, OTK our opponent. Like, it has multiple implications, and it's just a really good board wipe, so yeah, why not play it? I don't see a reason not to. And then side deck, which does have a few changes now. We are playing 1 Package Top Steel, cards very strong, cards very good, no reason not to play it. 3 DD Crow has a lot of implications in the sealed only league in terms of what our opponent's playing. Like, it stops Drytron, it stops the Virtual Wells, Quinlong, it stops Thunder Dragon from using like Thunder Dragon Fusion in the graveyard to banish it and search Thunder Dragon, so card's just very, very nice. 3 Cosmic Cyclone along with an MST for back row removal. Obviously, we want back row removal. 1 Mystic Mine, I know I'm scum. 1 Crackdown, 1 Ring of Destruction, and 1 Mirror Force. I wanted to put these in the side deck. I wanted to try and fit them in the main originally, but I felt like if I changed the ratios anymore, it would cause the deck to brick more. So I was like, okay, I'll put them in the side deck, change them out for Phantasme, because Phantasme has really done nothing throughout the entire sealed only league. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put these 3 in the side, see how it goes, and whenever we go first, I'm just gonna shove it in my main deck and see what happens. So yeah, cards are very good. I feel like they all have their own implications. This is burn and removal. This is just battle situations. And Crackdown, just give me your stuff. Like, this is going in against Thunder Dragon every time. Give me your Titan. I'm going to use it to make a Judgment Leve or a Super Dora. We'll see what happens. 1 mistake, because I don't want my Drytron opponent searching, so play this card. And then 2 Roll Decree if Joe ever decides to play his I don't know, Zodiac deck again, Tri-Brigade deck. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire deck. Honestly, there is a lot of changes that have been made. I feel like every change is important and has its own reasons for being there. And honestly, I feel like the deck is going to be that much better with these changes. So yeah, like, nothing else I can really say about it. Hopefully the deck will perform very, very well this month. Hopefully we won't have any issues or anything along those lines. And yeah, like, there's nothing else I can really say about the deck profile. So let's go into some games to show you guys what the deck is capable of. So to the games. Okay guys, so you've seen the openings, you've seen me talk about the match reports for last month, and you've seen me do this month's deck profile for my sealed only deck. And now it's time to show you what that deck is capable of in some duels. So without further ado, let's get into some games and play some Yu-Gi-Oh! So, pretty much, starting off with the first replay, we're going first. We go ahead and activate our Machine of Redeployment, discarding our Possessed Storage. Terrible, terrible opening card. We never want to open it, but nonetheless, we'll see what we can do. Our opponent D-Shifters just not looking good for us going first, is it, guys? Like, D-Shifter, we opened Possessed Storage, but we did open our double rotor in the form of Redeployment, and we had a Gear Frame and a Redeployment from our, well, not Redeployment, sorry, the Machina Trap card, our Machina Overdrive from our deck to our hand. We go ahead and normal summon the Gear Frame and use Gear Frame's effect, which is going to allow us to search our deck for a Machina Irradiator. Okay, so we add a Radiator to our hand, and we set 2 and pass. Okay, so what is our opponent actually playing then? So they activate D-Shifter, so I'm assuming it's got something like Grand Marju, and he goes ahead and Pots of Desires. I'm just going to go ahead and play there, because we're not sitting through Pot of Desires, Banish 10. He goes ahead and activates a Kaiju Interrupted Slumber, though, after his Pot of Desires. Okay. We don't have a response to that, so he goes ahead and summons 2 Kaijus, we get a Gamma Steel, our opponent gets a Gadala, and our opponent is going to go ahead and activate a Gizmek Orochi. Now, I'm pretty sure this guy is on a Gren deck, because only really Gren Marju plays these cards. So, he goes ahead and makes a Dragula, well, a Draglubion, and he summons the number 100 from his extra deck, and he goes ahead and attaches a number 80, well, sorry, 38 to it, using its effect to make it 9,000 attack. He enters the battle phase, but we imperm the Dragulion, which will put his attack to 0 and have him take 2,000 points of damage. So he just passes turn there. Our turn comes around, so what are we going to do on our turn? So we start off with a Redeployment, because we did actually open 2, as you might have seen earlier, and we discard a Citadel. Okay, we had 2 cards, we had an Air Raider and a Machina Gear Frame. Interesting choice. So we use the Irradiator to discard the gear frame, summon the Irradiator from our hand, use the Irradiator popping itself, okay, to summon out the Possessed Storage. Possessed Storage will trigger summoning the gear frame and the Citadel. Okay, not bad, not bad. Let's see how we go from here. We summon the gear frame, we summon the Citadel. We overlay into a Gigian X, so we're pretty much doing our normal thing where we go ahead and get our Flying Pegasus, because just the best card in the deck truly is. We use Pegasus' effect to summon back an Irradiator. And then what we're doing from here, we're making a Girsu, a Ding Girsu, which is going to go ahead and send the Dragleon to the graveyard. And then we just go into the battle phase and attack for game. So the Gren Marju, well, assumed Gren Marju deck lost to us OTKing them. So first game, not bad. Honestly, the deck, we opened pretty bad with the Possessed Storage, but I guess opening double redeployment does help a lot, especially seeing as our other two cards were the Anchor Drill and the Air Raider that we actually added to hand. So that's not a bad first game. Let's go on to the next one, though, and see what we're doing here. So let's see who's going first. I believe it's the opponent who went first in this game, and he is playing Dark Magician. So he goes ahead and activates his Illusion of Chaos, which will allow him to add a monster to hand. He adds a Magician's Rod. Okay, puts the Illusion of Chaos back to the deck, and he uses the Rod, summons the Rod to add a card from his deck to his hand. He adds Eternal Soul, and he goes ahead and activates a Magician's Circle to go ahead and get a Magician's Circle from the top of his deck. Okay, not bad, and sets 2 and passes turn. Our turn comes around, and what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and activate our Air Raider, discarding Citadel. Always good to open both of those in the opening hand. We set 2 and pass. Okay, so setting 2 and passing, our opponent activates another Illusion of Chaos. Okay, interesting. Adds a Timaeus to hand. And he goes ahead and uses Timaeus, sending the Rod to grave to summon the Timaeus. And we're going to go ahead and chain our Air Raider to the summon. Summoning a Possessed Storage, which will also trigger the Citadel to summon, and also the Possessed Storage, which will summon back the Air Raider. So we get the Air Raider and the Citadel on the board. And he's going to go ahead and attempt to use the Timaeus, where we will chain the Citadel to try and prevent him from fusion summoning. He goes ahead and activates his Eternal Soul to go ahead and special summon a Dark Magician. Okay, and he goes ahead and uses the Dark Magician, and we allow him to banish the Ice Dragon's Prison. Okay, I don't know why I did that. I should have been able to chain it. I don't see why I wouldn't have been able to. But he goes ahead and attacks the Possessed Storage. He ends his turn. We go into our turn. What are we going to do on our turn? We're going to activate a Bullet Train. Okay, so Bullet Train's going to special summon itself. We're going to normal a Pegasus. Okay, pretty good there. And then we're going to summon our Citadel back. In defense position, we're going to use the Pegasus, copying our Air Raider's attack, which is going to make them both 8. Then we're going to make the Girsu, okay, which is going to go ahead and send the Eternal Soul to graveyard to go ahead and destroy the Dark Magician as well. We go ahead and make a Gustav Max to go ahead and burn our opponent for 2k. And then we go into our lovely Libe, which will allow us to just go ahead and kill the Dark Magician player there. So pretty much against the control deck sort of Dark Magician, we were able to come out on top, even though we did open, well, we opened really good just because we opened Citadel and we opened Air Raider, which was really, really strong. But even though we didn't get a lot of back row and we made the slight misplay of banishing the Ice Dragon's Prison, we were still able to play the game. So even though that did happen, we still able to take the W. And honestly, the deck is really performing really well. And the more we go and the more back row I think we get, the deck is only going to get even better. So let's go into the last replay and see what happens. So who went first in this one? We went first. We activate our redeployment, discarding our Derricrane. Okay, so we're going to discard Derricrane to add 2 Machina monsters from hand. We get the Air Raider and the Gear Frame, just like the normal ones that we really want to be getting off the redeployment. And we go ahead and add Citadel, and we special summon the Air Raider, discarding the Citadel, just the standard stuff that we normally do in this deck. Like this is a standard opening board, 2 back row, Gear Frame, and Air Raider, standard in this deck. So we go ahead and go and Allure of Darkness. Okay, so our opponent is going to draw 2 cards and banish 1. He banishes a Despian. Okay, interesting. So he's going to go ahead and use the Despian to add a Jester to hand. Okay, so he adds the Jester, uses another Allure of Darkness, banishes a Albion, okay, and then normal summons the Jester from his hand. He's going to trigger the Jester, and we're going to Ash Blossom it, preventing him from getting that search. and he's just going to pass with one set card. Okay, we're going to go ahead and use the Air Raider here. Air Raider's going to pop the Gear Frame, summon the Possessed Storage, Citadel's going to trigger, Possessed Storage is also going to trigger, summoning the Gear Frame back. Just standard plays again, as we do in this deck. This is how the deck works, this is how I've kind of built it, to kind of do this quite a lot, and we go into our turn. So we overlay into a Gideon X, detaching material, probably to get at the Pegasus, there it is, and then we're going to go ahead and normal the Pegasus. Pegasus is going to trigger, summoning back the Derricrane. Okay, and then the Pegasus will copy the Air Raider's attack, or level, sorry, and we're going to overlay them into a Gearsu to go ahead and send something to the graveyard. And our opponent chains Super Polymerization. Okay, so normally against this deck would not be super polyed at any point in the time, but because we actually made the Gearsu, our opponent was able to super poly away our Gearsu with the Jester, most likely, or maybe another monster, to go into something here. So he discards a Tragedy for that, and then fuses his Jester with our Gearsu to summon a Starving Venom, which we send with the resolution of the Gearsu effect. And he's going to go ahead and use Jester in the graveyard, because when a fusion is sent to graveyard from their board by a card effect, they get to go ahead and summon it back and negate a card on the board. And summons the Jester, negating the Gideon X. Doesn't really matter though, we've already resolved its effect. Here we're going to go ahead and summon the Gustav Max to go ahead and just burn the opponent for 2k, detaching the Derricrane, which will allow us to go ahead and pop the Jester, which also allows us to go ahead and go into the Libe here, attack directly for 6,300, and that's game. So pretty much this is the deck. Like, this deck, this build, tons of traps, tons of monsters revolving around the Gigant Machina monsters and stuff like that. Just the trains and the Machinas compelling, going so well together to make the deck so strong is really, really good, guys. So, guys, that is this episode of the Sealed Only League. Honestly, these games are really, really good, really, really strong. I love every single one of these games that I played and I felt like they were all really good games that showed the opponent's deck off a bit, showed that the Machina deck actually plays enough hand traps and enough purple cards to interact with the opponent while also having that big Raigeki in Citadel, and just everything along those lines to show that the deck is really strong, can OTK, can do what it needs to do for us in the Sealed Only League. But guys, I hope you did enjoy. I hope you did like this episode of the Sealed Only League. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more good videos. And I will see you guys in the next one, because, well, that's this episode of the Sealed Only League. Honestly, deck is going really, really well. We have 3 more tournaments until the end of the Sealed Only League. So let's see if we can take the W's to the end of it, because honestly, we get more cards, we get more trap cards, and I feel like this deck is just going to get better and better and better. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Robobat1, signing out. Later all.